Bitch!
Welcome to the Unimaginary podcast. This is Livestream episode number 275. This is a conversation with your best friends, and we are your best friends.
I am Nathan Von Edmondson.
I'm Erin Marie, Betty Davis Jr. Von Edmondson.
And I'm David Monster Dat Cam.
And tonight, David is going to be administering a test which will tell us how big of a liar we all are. And then once we have those results, we're going to find out what that means. And I just wanted to put a disclaimer out there that Nathan and I have no idea what's in store tonight. So we will be covering this journey along with you.
And we want to keep it that way.
But first.
Oh God, it's so hard. It's so hard. Oh, breaking news.
Who wants to go first?
I have news stories. Do you guys have news stories?
Yeah. Go, David.
All right. Well, you guys have your pick tonight between story number 1, Boycott Kroger, story number 2, Donald Biden, or story number 3, again, hanging in tight this week, Thomas Jefferson.
Donald Biden.
Okay. Joe Biden is doing many of the same things that Donald Trump did that the Democrats were pissed off at. He's bombing Afghanistan. He's keeping kids in cages at the border. He's sending kids back. He's bombing Somalia. Democrats ain't saying jack shit about it. You all are ass fuckers. Every single last one of you are ass fuckers. You sons of bitches. You ass fucking creeps. That's my news.
That was nice and lighthearted.
Thank you.
I'm trying to make this not a commercial for Apple. So
too late.
Is that better?
Oh. Yeah, I couldn't even see it. I couldn't tell at all.
I'll go. Next, because you went first. So I can't go first. I'll go second. I am currently in the middle of doing a gig for Rolling Stone magazine. So I am not only editing their daily news clip, but I'm actually writing the script and narrating it, so you hear my voice. So if you go to Rolling Stone's YouTube page and look at their news clips for all this week and last week and part of next week, you will hear me. Yours truly.
Wow, how did you get that gig? Who'd you sleep with?
I don't even want to talk about it.
Wow.
I think I have to follow up.
Because it was last week, this week.
Yeah, it was like a 2-week thing, but it started on a Tuesday, so maybe Monday. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know yet, but it might be the last week. But you can find me there.
But that's really cool. Congratulations.
Thanks. I've been posting them to my Facebook, but my Facebook's private, so that doesn't help any of you.
Oh, why is it private, by the way?
Because I'm a very private American citizen.
Oh, okay.
I only want Mark Zuckerberg to know what I'm doing.
And he's always calling us, trying to make plans.
All right. What do you have?
Okay. So, congratulations from Stevie Actor Traveler. Sorry, go ahead, Nathan.
Woo!
Thank you.
Let me see my news. I watched a really excellent documentary this last weekend called American Birthright.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Never heard of it.
You never heard of it? My wife helped produce and shoot and edit it.
Yeah.
And I saw a cut. Gosh, I think it's been more than several months since I saw a cut.
Months? Hasn't it been years?
Well, I just didn't want to point out that it was years ago. 2 years
I
ago,
think
probably.
that everyone knows at this point that it's taken us about 6 or 7 years to get that doc out.
Okay, so maybe about 2 years ago I saw a cut, and it was good. But this cut was excellent. It was really well done. The flow of the film is so much better. There was an emotional impact at the end. I cried. I teared up, even though I knew everything that was in the documentary. It was just the execution brought tears to my eyes at the end. It was very moving, and as my mother pointed out, who has seen it as well, it's just packed full of information. It's very educational and informative, and I highly recommend it. I think you can rent it online at this point, or is it going to be in more film festivals, or
It's
who knows?
between festivals at the moment. So it just ended at the Seattle Jewish Film Festival just ended, and you were able to screen it there for 2 weeks. And currently, right now, it's not available, but it will be again, and I will share it when it is.
Yeah,
That's really cool. I have a question.
Yeah.
As someone who is offended by all the followers of all the Abrahamic religions, how would I find this documentary?
should I answer that or should you?
I don't know. I feel like I'm.
Oh, Nathan's somewhat offended by the Abrahamic religions, but go ahead, Erin. What? Sorry.
I we could both answer it.
Okay.
I mean, it's not your journey for one. It's like, so you're watching someone else go through it. So I don't know if you would need to take it really personally. You can certainly judge her choices, but I think she does a good job of questioning everything, which I think is you might like. She does probably come to a conclusion about things that you wouldn't. So I'd be really curious to hear your feedback, actually.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I would also say, to speak to your question more directly, David, I think that, yeah, I mean, it's gonna. When you think of something like the Abrahamic religions, it's so huge. Like, you're gonna find terrible shit in it at some point, but you can also find really good stuff in it. That's, I think, what's so interesting, bizarre about religion, right? You can immediately find the people you're like, oh my God, those people are evil and we should eliminate all religion forever. But then there's, tidbits of wisdom here and there that are useful or valuable. And I would say this piece focuses more on, I think that's a good point. It's like one person's journey. So it isn't really your journey, it's their journey and their search for what is, quote, truth. So you probably won't agree what that truth is, but you can see how it helps shape someone's life and brings meaning into their life and a sense of tradition and belonging in their culture and community. So
cool.
It was really moving and beautiful. A few times though, I was like, what about the shitty stuff about religion? What about the oppressive stuff?
There is actually one moment where we don't have to talk about this for too long, but we interview a kosher chef so he can explain what kosher is and what the rules are. And he basically says that it's a rule that no one will ever understand, but you do it out of faith. And I feel like that's something that, exactly, that you would turn your nose up to, David.
I ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I did this out loud, though, because David has a scroll at the bottom of our live screen, and it says, "You're a lying sack of bitch."
Well, it's interesting that religion came up because it's going to be part of our topic tonight in a way you won't see coming. Bam!
All right. Well, let's get to our gold star then. How about that?
Gold star, gold star, gold star, gold star. Oh, gee, wait. Oh, God, I have to do 14 things at the same time. Whew. Okay.
Our gold star for this week's Unimaginary Friendcast goes to...
It's shared by the Elephant Family and the Real Elephant Collective, who I didn't know, and I wish I was in London right now. They erected 100 elephant statues, life-size elephant statues around the city of London to bring awareness to the plight. I didn't know that there are some elephant species that are endangered. That are critically endangered. Whew, that took a minute. I didn't know that, which I should have known that. We all should have known that, but everything's just coming at us like this. But yeah, it's incredible. You guys should go look at the pictures online because I wish I was there to see it. It just looks incredible.
Yeah, it does look really cool. If you look up Elephant Family in London, you'll find it right away. A much deserved gold star for this week, eh?
Yeah, it's like cool.
All right, David.
Oh, I just realized we got a comment from CB Actor Traveler who says, "Wow, David and Nathan are really lagging." And I didn't realize because all of the news tonight was about Erin and her endeavors and how she's kicking ass, and Nathan and I are just kind of sitting around on our asses doing
But
a whole lot of
that
nothing.
was about like the connection. We're like,
But David and I'm in the same connection
yeah,
as you.
that doesn't
So
make any sense.
obviously,
Yeah.
David and I are on another connection, which is fuzzy and inconsistent.
Well, listen, that film was started in 2015 and it's 2021. So I don't know if you want to call that fast progress, but we're here. It's done.
Well, we also need Erin to get to work because she's going to have to support us in our old age. So
Fair enough.
Fair
All right,
enough.
let's do this.
all right, let's do this. All right, this is a quiz, which is going to find out how big of a dirty, filthy liar you are. And I'm not going to give you a whole lot of information until the end because we don't want to sway you, MFers. And everyone is on honor system, so you guys all have to keep your own
Oh, yeah.
scores, okay? And the scores are very important. We need to know your scores. What?
David, what if I'm a lying sack of bitch?
Right.
Then we need you guys to patrol each other.
I have to look
We
over
need you to monitor each other's scores, yeah, and make sure you're not dirty, filthy liars about them.
I'll do the best I can.
I will do the best I can as well.
He's lying.
Okay. Are you guys ready? We're gonna start. We're just gonna dive into the quiz. What?
Yes, I'm ready.
I just think it's funny that you have queued up the lower third. This is lying whore. Hey. Listen, anybody that's listening, just the audio podcast, it's great. I'm happy you're doing that, but watching it live is a whole other cup of tea.
If you're only listening to the audio, you're only getting half the story.
That's true.
All right, girl. Okay, so we're going to just dive into the test because it's actually the results that are the meat and potatoes of this thing. So you guys will see. It'll blow your mind. Okay, keep score, everybody. Okay. So this is how you keep score. For every answer, you're going to give a 1, which means not true or no. A 2, which means somewhat true or I'm not sure, or a 3, which means true or yes. Now, these aren't, I had to pare it down because there's actually 7 degrees of yes or no's, but we'd be here for the rest of our lives if we did that.
So 1, 2, or 3, 1 is no, 2 is maybe, 3 is yes.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I made the distinction true or yes, so because you'll see when the way it's worded.
Are we going to eventually add these numbers up? Is that the end result?
Yes. So you need to keep score. Okay. All right. Are you guys ready? Question number 1. Have you ever felt hatred toward either of your parents?
Hatred?
Yes, hatred. Have you ever felt hatred toward either of your parents? And remember, it's not true or no. 2 is somewhat true or I'm not sure, and 3 is true or yes.
I feel like there was probably like a heated moment when I was a teenager that I wasn't allowed to do something that I was like, I hate you. Does that count? Like, I don't think like true hatred.
Yeah. Have you ever felt hatred?
Yeah, I'm gonna say 2 though, because it like the stupid teenage years don't really count.
Lying whore.
Well, it's ever. It doesn't say. It doesn't say, have you ever, except for the teenagers that don't count, felt,
all right,
it says, have you ever.
Fine.
I know. Here, wait. Everybody look at the screen for a minute. Okay. Number 2. And wait, listeners.
What?
What?
Who else has to answer?
Do we need to answer now, or are we just going through the, are we just plowing?
You can answer if you want to quickly. But yeah, mostly write it down. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to, let's just say yes, no, or maybe. Yes, of course I have. I've mentioned, you guys know that I'm saying yes for this.
Yes.
All right. What about you, Nathan?
Yes.
Okay, good. Number 2. And listeners, I encourage you to play along because it's going to tell you a lot about yourself. So what did you say? What are you going to say, Aaron? I did. I said yes. What do you think my answer is about that?
Obviously, you've hated your parents
your
whole life.
Number 7.
Yeah, I wish we had 7 degrees. Number 2, do you ever feel guilty?
Just generally?
Do you ever feel guilty?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like human, right?
Okay, cool. Yeah, of course we all have. I think it would be an insane person that would answer no to that. But remember, there will be people that will answer no to that. Remember that. Remember that question and the answer to that. Number 3, does every attractive person of your preferred sex turn you on?
No.
Nope.
Every attractive person. Remember, it's not every person, but every attractive person.
Correct.
Okay, good.
Isn't that
My
kind
answer is also no. Sorry, what?
Are you attracted to every attractive person?
Well, attractive, isn't that subjective?
Yeah, so we're going to have to use...
Your version of attractiveness.
Yes.
Okay, I get it. But do they? Okay, moving on.
Okay. Number 4. Oh.
Green, but whatever.
No.
Wait, I answered.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. What?
Wait, what was your answer?
My answer was no. Not every single one turns me on. I find every person I find attractive, but not every single one turns me on.
Right.
But Nathan, you're answering yes, aren't you?
No, I'm answering no.
Okay. Number 4. Have you ever felt like you wanted to kill someone?
No.
Yes.
Ever felt like you wanted to kill someone?
Like
So Nathan, you say yes?
Like actually wanted to commit murder?
Kill someone.
David, I've never murdered anyone.
Ooh, good answer. Good answer. So your answer is a yes. What do you think my answer is?
I'm gonna say 2 to that because I can't think of one.
Somewhat.
But I imagine I have at some point.
Okay, that's logical. What do you think my answer is?
Yes.
Yes. Number 5. Do you ever have thoughts that you don't want other people to know that you have?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you're a now remember that question, because I think a psychopath would answer no. What are you talking about? No. Okay, number 6. Do you ever feel attracted to people of the same sex?
Sexually?
I'm going to repeat the question. Do you ever feel attracted to people of the same sex?
I mean,
attraction. Do you feel attraction?
I can like see a woman and see them as attractive, but I'm not turned on by them. So like, where is there a gray area?
Yeah, because thinking someone's attractive and feeling an attraction are 2 different things.
Then no.
Never ever?
No.
Wow, that's weird.
All right, no one else is
All right.
answer?
I'm gonna say yes because like I think that's splitting hairs on what attraction is.
Well, it's just an attraction. Like it doesn't say have you ever wanted to split them open with your penis, but like have I don't know, like there's degrees of it too. There's degrees of attraction too. So yeah. All right, let's continue on.
David, a yes for you?
Yeah, I'll say yes. Number 7. Have you ever made a fool of yourself?
Yes.
No.
Ooh, the cream is rising to the top.
Liar.
I mean, of course, that's another question. Remember these questions. Number 8. Is it important to you that other people think highly of you?
No.
2? Maybe. I mean, for some people not.
Now, is that at all times or?
The question is it important to you that other people think highly of you? Yeah. And listeners, are you guys taking this quiz? Because I want to know what's going on in your. I'm going to say this.
I'm going to say that I think that highly of that.
I'm going to say sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. So I gave myself a 2. Okay. The next question. Would you like to know what other people think of you?
Yes.
I'm going to put a 2 for that one. Yes and no.
Yeah, there's times when I don't, but there's times when I do. I'm going to say yes because I felt the same thing Erin did. Okay, the next question.
Love it.
All right, next question. This is going to be hard for you guys. Were your parents ever mean to you?
Yes.
Oh, wow. She answered that quickly. It's going to take Nathan a minute or 2.
People get everyone gets angry,
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I'll give that.
I don't think it's ever cool, but
Okay. Well, mean to me means something different than being angry at, but
Really?
but you're gonna answer it however you feel.
Okay. Well, okay. All right.
Okay. All right. Number 11. Do you have any bad memories?
Yes.
No.
It's a weird quiz. I don't know where this is going, David.
I know. Yeah. Oh, we have a comment from the Peanut Gallery.
Questions are not specific enough. Thank you, Mary.
And I'm glad you said that, Mary, because there's a reason for it. And I hope you're taking the quiz. Everybody take the quiz and you'll see. There's a reason for the way these are worded.
Oh.
Okay. Number 12. Number 12. Have you ever thought that your parents hated you?
Have you thought that they? No.
Yeah, no.
God, you guys are lucky. 100%. 100. I know that they have. My mother even came on this very podcast and admitted that they have. So you guys can fuck yourselves. Okay. Number 13. Do you have sexual fantasies?
About anything?
Sexual fantasies.
About inanimate objects?
Sure.
Yes.
God, I wish that was a question. Okay, number 14. Have you ever been
not really.
Wait, what?
What is wrong?
You've
with
never had sexual fantasies?
I don't know. I can't. I'm pretty too because I can't think of any.
Wait, you've never had a sexual fantasy. All right, while you're thinking, I'm going to read our listener has made a comment. Are we supposed to be keeping score or just your answers? Just our answers. No, keep score. Keep score, Chris. I said at the beginning you have to keep score. Everybody has to keep score. A 1, 2, or 3 with each question.
1, 2, or 3, and just keep track of how many 1s and how many 2s and how many 3s you have.
Yeah, just remember, you score yourself 1 if it's a yes, or wait. Oh God. No, you score 1 if it's a no or not true. You score 2 if it's somewhat or I don't know, and you score 3 if it's a yes or true. Does everybody have that? And keep score, especially. Oh my God, CV Actor Traveler, I definitely want to know what you get on this. But definitely. Okay, number 14. Have you ever been uncertain as to whether or not you are a homosexual?
Have I been uncertain?
Have you ever been uncertain whether or not you are a homosexual? Ever. Now, this is an ever question because, you go through different phases. So this is an ever question.
Okay.
Wait, what's confusing, CB Actor Traveler? They made a comment that it's confusing. I didn't think anything was confusing, and I'm sorry. All right, do you guys want to answer the question?
I said no.
You've never been uncertain? Because your parents were even uncertain. You had to come out of the closet as straight. What about you, Nathan? Ever?
See, I hesitate to give that a flat answer but I'm going to say yes. But
yeah,
it's complicated, and that's really personal. So I can't share that because it's trauma related. So
no, I understand, but it's the same. Yes, if you go through adolescence and it's not complicated, I think you're an incredibly lucky person. Incredibly lucky.
Because I feel like these questions you can say yes or no, and it doesn't. It's like the layer on top of. It's like the tip of the iceberg, right?
Remember that because that's why these questions are worded like that, and you'll see a
lot of things we have to remember, David.
I know.
I know it'll be an aha moment at the end. There's 10 more questions. Oh wait, there's a little bit more than 10 more questions.
There's 9 more questions.
Have you ever doubted your sexual adequacy?
Adequacy?
Yeah. Have you ever doubted your sexual adequacy?
No.
I don't know. That's a weird question.
Have you ever doubted how adept you are at sex, how adequate you are in the sexual arena?
I don't know. I guess. So, yes.
I feel like... Well, anyway, continue, David.
All right.
Hard for me to answer without thinking of a specific example, but it seems like a reasonable thing for someone to have doubts about,
I think it's probably more of a male thing than a female thing, but no, there's going to be females that are like, oh, am I even sexually whatever? All right, I'm going to continue on. Have you ever wanted to rape or be raped by someone?
Ooh.
No.
I'm gonna say 2 only because like there's a fantasy of it, but I've never wanted to do it. I'm gonna say no actually because I've never wanted to do actually rape somebody.
But I think you should go to your 2 because that is a fantasy that people have. So you've had it like maybe. That's a maybe to me.
Yeah, but I don't want any part of it to be real. I don't know, whatever. Who cares? Doesn't matter. All right, we're going to continue on. Have you ever thought of committing suicide in order to get back at someone?
No.
Every day.
Really?
Sure, why not? No, not every day. But of course that's come up. Especially, you have to understand, you guys grew up in a family where you knew your parents loved you. I grew up in a family where I knew everyone hated me. Like, it was obvious. Well, so it's like...
Then you'd want to like live as long as possible, right?
You go through these things because you don't know where you stand in life. You have no basis, so you're like this.
If they don't want you around, then you make sure you stay around. That would get back at them, right?
There's times when I thought that, but then there's times when it's like fuck you. Like there's times when I had a fantasy where I wanted to kill myself and like finger them for it, like frame them for it, and then call the police. Oh, that was a huge one. I couldn't figure out how to do it, though. I'm not very bright. But sorry, what were you to say?
I was just going to say that I'm sure there's a large percentage of people that would say yes to that question.
Yeah, it depends on who you are and who you've lived with and whatever. All right. Anyways, the next question, number 19. There are times I have enjoyed being cruel.
No.
That's you saying it.
I say yes.
Yeah, the answer is yes.
Of course. If you're ever a preteen or if you ever went to junior high school or high school. If you're ever friends with a cheerleader, I mean, come on, give me a break. All right. Number 20, I sometimes feel joy over someone else's failure.
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Of course. What kind of a psychopath wouldn't feel joy over? And there's that word, isn't it Schadenfreude? Isn't that the German word for it?
Something like that.
Schadenfreude. Yeah. Okay, number 21. I have gotten so angry at a friend that I felt like hitting him or her.
Probably.
I guess that would be yes if you've hit someone because you were angry. So yes.
Oh, did you hit a friend because you were angry? I'm going to give it a 2 because I have gotten so mad at a friend that I want to hit them, but I'm not friends with them anymore. And I kind of realized why is because they're so ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like that I got to that point.
Yeah.
Say yes.
I'm not friends with anybody I still want to hit. Go ahead, what?
I mean, I figure like a kid's brain between 12 and 22 is just filled with testosterone and aggression, and it's not fully developed. So if you get through that time period without ever wanting to hit your friend, it's probably pretty unique.
That's true. Actually, I had a friend that I lost touch with that I would still be friends with who was Mormon, and I was making fun of Jesus and he pushed me down. So you're right. So that's okay. But anyways, okay. We're going to continue. Number 22. There have been occasions when I was mean to someone unimportant.
Unimportant?
No, I've always been mean to important people.
Yeah, what kind of question is that?
I have to.
Well, I think it's that thing like you know the character of someone if they treat people kindly that are unimportant. You know, like waiters or someone who's under you, someone who.
I've been mean to
but
people.
it's also there's a reason why it's worded that way too.
I mean, I don't remember, but I'm sure it's like seems like a natural part of being.
I think I yelled at the entire customer service staff of Comcast for a few years. So
I've done that too. I gave myself a 3, so we all say yes on that one, right?
Yeah.
Which I thoroughly regret, except for the deals that they gave.
Do you?
Not really. It was,
why would you?
There was motivation.
Okay, number 24. Once in a while, I think of things too bad to talk about.
Once in a while?
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably. Sorry, this is like.
Yeah,
I say yes.
I would say every once in a while, I don't want to be a total bummer, so I don't talk about the things I'm thinking about.
Yeah, 100%. All right. Number 24. Oh, no, sorry.
Number 97.
Number 25. More than once, it felt good when I heard on the news that someone had been killed.
No, I don't
Yeah, I'm
think
going to say no.
ever be a situation like that.
I'm going to give it a 2 only because I have some vague inkling of like a dictator dying or somebody like. I remember.
Osama bin Laden, I was happy. Should I put a 3 on?
Yeah.
Hey, if that's more than once. Oh, so I'm gonna give it a 3 then, because it was more than one. Yeah, and I remember when they caught Mussolini and they killed him. That was a really nice day. That we all were excited about that.
1947 or something.
1945.
45.
All right, we have a comment from the Peanut Gallery. A listener says the comedy comes from watching Nathan and Erin react to the questions. It's true, you guys put your heads up. Well, I don't know.
You're stupid.
All right, the next question. There are people I hate deeply.
See, that's complicated. Really? See, I'm going to say yes because deeply isn't the depths of feeling. So even though I hate someone deeply, it doesn't mean that there isn't an understanding of how inconsequential and limited that viewpoint is.
I don't know if there's anyone I hate deeply.
There are people I don't even know that I hate deeply.
Is this like now or is this
Mitch McConnell? Fucking McConnell.
Okay. Well, yes. Okay, we're talking political shit. Then 3.
People in my life. There are people in my not people in my life now, but people that have.
Are we talking about? It can be just
random. Okay.
All right. Let me see the question. There are people I hate deeply. That's all it says. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That also sounds like it's constant almost, like you just walk around hating.
No. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's not anybody in my life now that I hate deeply, but there have been people that I've known in real life. Okay, number 27. There have been occasions when I feel like smashing things.
Ooh, yeah. Smashing stuff it's so therapeutic.
Yeah.
Totally, 100%. I mean, no, that of course that's a yes.
Out of anger and fun.
Now, yeah, because there was a whole bunch of questions, so I narrowed it down and I kept that one in because I knew that we'd all say yes to that. Okay, number 28. I must admit that revenge can be sweet.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you're a psychopath if you don't think so. Number 29, I get jealous over the good fortune of others. I have been.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I think that's one of those things where it's even when you don't want to, it arises.
And that's the thing about jealousy is it doesn't matter how you feel, it's how you behave.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh wait, I misnumbered them. So there's actually
this is number again?
No. I just misnumbered them. Number 29. There have been times when I have felt like rebelling against authority, even though I knew they were right.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. What kind of a psychopath? And then the last one, we're gonna have Erin answer first because this is going to be her favorite question of all. Number 30. Have you ever enjoyed your bowel movements?
Oh God, daily, every single day.
I know, bowel movement enthusiast. Listen, I don't think I enjoy the actual bowel movements, but the feeling of it is incredibly enjoyable.
Oh yeah, it's amazing, especially when you've gone through large periods of your life where you're constipated. That sweet release is like the best joy you'll ever. It was like better than like seeing your baby being born for the first time.
Wow. Really? That's better than you. All right, let's everybody total up really fast.
I have to give my answer to the bowel movement question. David doesn't care. He doesn't even care about
David?
my
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said I got to give my answer to the bowel.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. What's your answer? Sorry.
I do, what's the question again?
Have you ever enjoyed your bowel movements?
Yes, and I keep them, and I can bring.
Oh my God! I would. Now I feel like killing someone right now.
Right. Anyway.
4, 5, 6.
Yeah. I have no idea what that means.
We all have to count out loud at the same time. This is good.
Okay, I'm done. All right, are you guys done? Oh,
No.
sorry. Listeners, I want you guys to be doing it because we want to know your scores too. Hey, listeners, as soon as you know your scores, throw them up on the board and we'll call them out.
I got mine.
All right, do you got yours yet, Nate?
Just about. I got to do some math here.
Sorry I keep yawning, but I have a 4.5-month-old baby.
Uh-oh. All right, Erin, why don't you go ahead and give your result?
71.
71? Wow, okay.
Am I a liar?
Hold on.
No.
77.
77. So 71, 77. And mine, what do you think mine is?
87.
87.
82. Wow, 82. All right, here are the results. And they're a little bit skewed. So this isn't completely scientific because I had to pare it down and because the normal test is very long and it takes a while.
Wait. How is this not completely scientific?
All right, it is completely scientific, but it's a little bit brief. And also, you guys didn't know where it was going. I do know where it's going, so that might have skewed my answers, but I tried to be as factual as possible.
Okay.
All right, so here are the results, and then I'm going to tell you what they mean, because the results are different. Oh, CV Actor Traveler got a 72.
All right. Him
Is
and
that
I
what
are 71.
Ah.
All right. Okay, so here are the results. 0 to 30. And remember some of the questions. You guys are like, who would answer no on that? What?
A 0 to 30 person must be an absolute maniac.
Yeah.
0 to 30 is a lying sack of shit.
Yeah.
Okay, 30 to 50 means you're an average human being.
Really?
Yeah.
That's an average human.
Well, it's actually a 0 to 50 or 0 to 60.
Okay.
I mean, no, 30 to 60, 30 to 50, somewhere in that range.
Okay.
50 to 90 means you're too truthful for your own good.
I'd say that's true.
So you can't win in any of these categories?
No, but you're a truthful person. But listen why. This is why. Because, are you guys everybody listening? If you listeners are getting your scores in, you better get them in now. Because here's the deal. Studies done on athletes found that the ones who lie are considered liars. Because these are questions to determine whether you're self-deceptive. And I didn't want to say that at first because it might change your answers. But it means 0 to 30 means you're incredibly self-deceptive.
You're lying to yourself.
Yeah. So studies done on athletes found that the people who are most self-deceptive are what? Like, what do you think that would happen with them?
Most successful.
Most likely to win.
Ugh.
And it's because one of the athletes who participated in the study said, yeah, well, we believe we're invincible because if we go in there with any other thought, there's no chance of accomplishing our goal. So they get it in there. And studies also show that self-deceivers do better in almost all other areas of life, business, attaining employment, entertainment, acting, directing, producing, politics, lawyering, except for relationships, unless they can find other people who are as self-deceptive. So I think that we're all kind of getting the idea of some of the people in life, and like some of the people who would have answered like the first question that we came across, we were like, what kind of a psychopath Like, do you ever feel guilty? Can we think of someone that might have answered no to that?
Yes.
Were they president of the United States at one point?
Yes.
You mean still president of the United States?
You mean Donald Biden?
Or Donald Biden. And also, it was just so incredible because some of the people they interviewed, I stole this from NPR. Some of the people they interviewed were completely wonderful, athletic people that everyone liked, but there are certain areas of their life where they become self-deceptive. But they're finding out through these studies that on this planet, human beings, and you can see self-deception. You can see this kind of smeared across the masses of the human race, that it's something that the human race developed for self-preservation because researchers found that depressed people lie less to themselves. They're the most truthful people of all to themselves.
But is that why they're depressed?
Yes, because they see the world as it is. This is what a researcher says. They see the world as it is. They see all the pain in the world, how horrible people are with each other, and they tell you everything about themselves, what their weaknesses are, what terrible things they've done to other people, and their problem is they are right. And I've said this on this very program, that there's a savagery in human beings, and this is what it is. This is what it is, because when you talk politics even to people, and when I've said this, they full on dismiss what's going on with their own party, or they'll be like, or if you'll say like, well, this is happening in this part of the world, and they're like, no, it's not, or even just like people saying that Trump is awesome, or what's something we always talk about on the show where people are just savages, where people have committed all the crimes against the human race. What could it be? What could it be? Remember we were talking about at the beginning of the program?
I can't remember anything that happened 5 minutes ago or more.
Religion.
Oh, right.
The biggest self-deceivers in the world are in religion.
Right.
And you see that when you're talking to them. So now you see that this is something actually the brain has developed in our evolution. So now when you're talking to people, when you're discussing politics or something else with people, they probably have very little control over it. This
David,
is probably
it's funny you point that out. I remember hearing in a talk once that this person's claimed that religion isn't factually true, but it's evolutionarily true in the sense that it's helped, like the self-deception of it, like somehow positions you to succeed evolutionarily.
And some people do succeed that because they tell themselves God is on their side. They say when someone else's house burns down, but theirs doesn't, they say God is good. God is always good. God is good. So it's true. So I think you guys probably know people in your own lives that you've had discussions with that you're like, why can't they see this? Why are they? Go ahead, Erin.
We're talking to one.
Uh-oh, Nathan.
No, I mean, it happened like within the last day. Yes. So.
What happened? Tell us all about it.
We can't.
It's family, isn't it?
Yeah.
So maybe this will give everyone a little bit of empathy for the people in their family that you're like, why can't they see? Like, what are you talking? And you give them evidence and they just dismiss it because they know in their minds, they're able to lie to themselves so fully that they'll just dismiss any reality or truth. And you see it in everything. Once you see this, you see it in every aspect of human life.
I think it's a little trickier than that. I think there's a lot of truth to what you're saying, but I think that we're also in this new era that there aren't any facts, that you can't trust any of the sources, and media is skewed. So partially, like when it comes to like politics and stuff, it might not be as much that they're just lying to themselves, but more that they're just getting the wrong information.
But you have to understand that it's a mass of human beings that is all lying to themselves. So they're going to further that misinformation. And I agree with you But I don't think it's a new. I think the only new era is that these people have a voice where they didn't before. Because of social media, this always occurred. It was always there. Because if you see it like like mob mentalities and mobs, we found out that Tulsa, like a white mob, destroyed Tulsa. These people have to be heavy self-deceivers to be like, you know what? The black people are our problem. They created their own city to be self-sufficient, so we have to tear it down. Like, that's some evil. Like, that's at a level of evil that I can't get to with people I don't know. Like, even if you told me, like, I don't know, even if you told me that, I'd have to like see for myself. You know what I mean? Like, if I came upon a situation, go ahead, Nathan.
I think that's risky to think that you would be one of the good people in certain situations. Like, if you think of World War II, if you were living in Germany, isn't it? I think it's more useful to think, like, oh, I could have been a Nazi. Like, what does that mean? Like, that evil, I think, exists in everyone's heart. Like, it's part of humanity. And it takes very little for anyone to be convinced to do something very terrible. And in retrospect, that person may look back and be like, what did I do? Maybe not. Maybe they'll live in that dream of justification forever. But to think that you're immune to that, I think is risky, because then it means you could run into a place of, well, I would never do that, so this thing is justified, whatever it is, and maybe it is something atrocious.
Well, it's because of this, though. Like, for those people to have done that, they would have to be at a high level of self-deception, like incredibly high level to take in. Because like maybe at some other time, at some other place in my history, but now, you couldn't get me to do that by just pointing at people and saying they are our problem. Those are the ones. I would have to have hard evidence and facts. But go ahead.
How you say that about a lot of people, like religious people, or
say that again? What?
Don't you say that about certain groups of people or certain people?
Do I say what? What?
They're the ones like like, say, some people are like the rich people. Or
I don't say that. Erin's 1%. The one who's anti-rich. I'm anti-poor. I say that poor people are disgusting, and I have evidence that we should rid the planet of poor people.
Okay, so you don't fall into that trap at all. Never mind.
But I'm not. I can say all kinds of outrageous things, but I'm not doing those things. Doing and saying are two completely different things. Hindsight is 20/20. David, a listener says, groupthink is not necessarily high-level deception.
I agree. That's what
I agree. Well, you have to have a bit of deception to do those things, though.
It goes back to what I was kind of saying about like you're getting inundated with wrong information from what you think are reputable sources. It's like that. Is that self-deception, or is that just being deceived by others?
Yeah, but to take in, because there's certain things that you can easily be deceived by, but to take in information that you're going to now kill a mass of people, that's a whole other thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're going to destroy these people's lives and their city. Or we're going to stand guard while these people are ushered into these gas chambers. Like, that's a whole nother level. That has to be self-deception at a high level.
But I think the point is like I don't think you're or anyone is immune to falling into that trap. Like, I think that person who stood there with the self-deception of like ushering people into the gas chamber, like, that could be anyone, I think.
I don't know about that. I don't think we can know that. We can speculate on it, but I don't think the three of us here can know that. But there were people that were killed for not doing it. There were people who fled and didn't do it.
There's certainly exceptions, but I think it's just.
And I understand that there's fear too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know. Like, I'd like to think that I would have known enough to be against it, but I don't know if my life was at risk, if I would have been strong enough to stand up and have been murdered for standing up against what was going on. Like, I just don't know unless I was in that situation. In like a perfect world, I'm like this hero and they like kill me in the street and I like died with, you know, standing up for something I believe in. But I might have just like really wanted to preserve my life and just kind of went along with it and just tried to get away as soon as I can. I don't know.
So it's true. And if you have families, it's a different thing too. But I think even in those situations, you're going to have to engage in self-deception to be like, they probably deserved it. You know what I mean? Like, you're probably going to tell yourself some evil, horrible lie to be like, there's nothing I could do. Yeah, to be able to sleep at night. And we have a listener that says January 6th is the perfect example. Were all those people deceived or just caught up in the moment?
But I mean, both. I think both were there.
Yeah, and variations
for
each person, probably, like the levels of both of those things.
I think both, but I think that everyone that was there at the Capitol that broke into it were at a high level of self-deception. I think that we'd be shocked at the answers they would give on the same test we just took. I think they're very Trumpy, and you know what I mean? Like, they have Trumpy attitudes.
Even some of the people who have been arrested and brought to justice said, you know, I was influenced. I, you know, went down this train of thought and action that I regret now, etc.
I think there are some, but there are some that aren't too. So it's
saying that to get out of their charges.
They're probably saying that to get out of the charges. Now, it's interesting that I call it the Donald Trump effect, but one of the researchers described this thing. After doing the study, they said those who exploit opportunities to cheat on tests are likely to engage in self-deception, inferring that their elevated performance is a sign of intelligence. So people will cheat and gain and think like, oh, like they'll start deceiving themselves saying like, I'm good at this, I can do this. But when predicting future performance, participants expect to perform equally as well. Is this describing somebody perfectly to a T or what? And then a lack of awareness that persists even when those inflated expectations prove costly.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. Like, we have a society like that. It's not only Donald Trump, but there's a lot of people in our society that this holds true to. It's like what our law system is based on. It's how lawyers perform on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And politics are both parties engage in this.
I was gifted a book that was written by a former executive at a company I worked for years ago. And the book was called Cheat to Win.
Cheat to win. Did you do it? We got to start cheating to win, guys. We got to start. Okay. I
started reading it. I never finished it.
Probably good. That's probably not something in your life.
And well, here's the thing. There are benefits. We already talked about self-perception, self-preservation, why people did it. I think that we need it less and less now, the way our society is going. But the benefits of deceiving others, getting a date, getting a job, often accrue in the short term. So that you see this a lot. There's a lot of lying that is kind of tacitly approved or tacitly is fine with people. You know, like for getting a job and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the costs of the deception in the long run also accrue, such as rejection, punishment when found out. Which it's true, like it's never a cause and effect with people. Like it's always like, oh God, I'm so unlucky. But you know what I mean? Like, because we've seen this, we see that it's, you know, fake it till you make it, or bullshit till, you know, like whatever. But then there's always like a crash and burn. We see a lot of crashes and burns. It's always sort of like never pointed at that thing. Anyway, so this was.
So we're all lying whores, right? We're all just lying whores.
I think we proved the opposite.
The three of us were not. Yeah, we're not.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, yeah, like I don't know about you guys, but I don't lie to myself a lot, and I want to start engaging in it more because it and even like I don't like the facts that come in from the world. I don't lie to myself about either, which most people do. I find out most human beings will find at least some area that they lie to themselves about. It's usually
though.
What?
I'm guessing it's not intentional though.
Yeah, it's probably not intentional, but it becomes savage sometimes, like because people get dismissed or people get marginalized. I've talked about this a lot. Like the human race is in the business of marginalizing, and this is why it happens. It's because it's like, oh well, those people don't matter, or those people are wrong. Like when they're maybe not wrong. And I don't know. It's just that it makes me have more empathy, but it's also like I do see there is a savagery that will stay with the human race for a while, because this is a savage planet, and I see it in almost everyone. But go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So there's some days when I feel like, did you guys ever see Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
Yeah, well, I saw like a 90s version, I think.
Yeah, that one. Did you ever see it, Erin?
I don't know, years ago. I don't remember movies.
Well, aliens come to Earth and they inhabit everyone's body. And then there's a group of people that run, and then it ends up that only one guy outruns the aliens. And then he sees, it comes to the end of the movie, and he sees this girl that he loves, and he's like, oh my gosh, she made it, because she looks like she's not been invaded. But he goes up to her and he's like, oh my God, Mary Beth, oh my God. And then she makes the alien noise, and that's how the movie ends. But there's some days, and that's what I feel like dealing with human beings. Anyway, there you go.
Well, thank you for that. That was fun.
That was fun. But does that tell you a lot? Doesn't that kind of give you some tools to deal with the people in your life that you're like,
Yeah. Yes.
What do you think, Nathan?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think, it is a savage world, and people are through various levels of self-awareness deceiving themselves to certain degrees. So that's true. It's good to be aware of it. I also think it's useful to see how, not necessarily truthfulness, but the correlation between, say, depression or tripping over your own feet by accepting reality as it is, as they say. It's like you can use maybe not self-deception, but fake it till you make it mentality as an antidote to maybe being too realistic or being too depressive in your assessment of the world or your stature or place. So yeah, it's all useful information.
Yeah, totally. And I couldn't see what you're doing, Erin.
You off.
Thumbed up me.
Oh, thumbs up.
And it's true. And I took a look at a lot of people who are successful, especially in America. This is a very American thing, I think, too. A lot of people that are successful, that have attained to success. We even talked about a president who is one of the most deluded people ever. People who are successful are very self-deceptive, I feel like. They just don't see anything, and they don't see. Anyways, that's all. I think stupidity is such a valuable asset if you're going to live in the human world, especially self-stupidity. And maybe I should start doing drugs.
Maybe.
All right.
Pick the right drugs.
I know. Can you guys give me some suggestions? Anybody, even listeners?
Nope.
Pot.
No.
Pot seems to be a great drug. Go ahead, yeah.
I'm not the one to ask.
Me neither.
I was going to recommend mushrooms or some sort of like low dose acid, so you can have a trip and have your mind blown, have a religious experience.
I did acid. Have you guys ever done acid? No. Acid is awesome. I recommend. I did acid once at Disneyland, and it was one of the funnest days of my life.
All right. Thank you all for tuning in. The Unimaginary Friendcast. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Check our Facebook or Instagram for our next live stream date. And we appreciate you. Thanks for playing along.
Wait, hold on. Oh God. Okay. You're a lion sack of bitch.